No one told you. And that's the most brutal part. There's a group of people on this planet whose minds run faster than average, who feel deeper than average, who notice more than average. But the twisted thing is, they're the ones walking around thinking, something must be wrong with me. Not because they're humble. Not because they're playing dumb. But because the very traits that make them exceptional also make them exhausted, lonely, and suspicious of themselves every single day. That's the quiet paradox of giftedness, gifted in the psychological sense, not look at my IQ or look at my grades. Today I'm not talking about you're good at math or you can study anywhere. I'm talking about the small signs, the everyday patterns you live with, but you never had the words for. And if you keep thinking, wait, that's literally me, this might be the first time your life finally clicks. If you've ever felt different but couldn't explain why, comment yes so I know you're here. Don't sit there silent. Silence is what cowards use when they abandon themselves. Sign number 1, you don't just experience life, you absorb it. Psychologists call it overexcitability. Sounds like hyperactivity, but it's not. It means your nervous system processes the world at a level of intensity most people don't experience. A song isn't just nice. It punches through your chest. An idea isn't just interesting. It hijacks your mind for days. A conversation doesn't just pass by, it replays in your head until you squeeze out the real meaning. You're not too sensitive. You're just living with the volume turned up. Sign number 2, you keep asking why. Not to argue. Not to be annoying. You ask because you can't move forward without understanding the mechanism. Other people want answers to feel safe. You want the full picture to believe. So people label you complicated, extra, overthinking. But your brain doesn't swallow information raw, it chews. Sign number 3, you feel out of sync with the crowd. Not because you're arrogant. Because so many conversations feel shallow. You sit there listening to small talk while craving one real question. You smile socially, then go home feeling empty. You want connection, but you can't tolerate fake connection. If this hits you, hit like right now. Not for me. For you to confirm, I'm not crazy. Sign number 4, you can't stand shallow work. When you do something, you want to do it at the root level. You hate doing things just because. That's why you swing between extremes, either you go deep and serious, or you quit because it feels pointless. People call it perfectionism. But most of the time it's just your need to live honestly with your internal standard. Sign number 5, you never feel good enough. People praise you, you nod. But in your head, you see a list of flaws. You know it could be sharper, tighter, cleaner. And here's the painful part, you can spot mistakes faster than you can fix them. So you assume you're not that good, when in reality your eyes are just too sharp. Sign number 6, you learn to play dumb early. You talked less. Slowed down. Tried to look normal so you wouldn't get targeted. You stopped asking deep questions because you didn't want to be seen as weird. Over time, you got so good at hiding, you forgot who you actually are. Sign number 7, your brain connects dots other people can't see. You see A, link it to B, and suddenly you land on C. People ask, how did you get that? And you can't even explain it cleanly because it wasn't linear logic. It was a network. That divergent thinking makes you creative, but it also gets you labeled hard to follow. Sign number 8, injustice hits you in the chest. Stuff other people brush off? You can't. A cruel comment. A dirty move. A dishonest act. It sits on your chest. You might smile outside, but inside you're boiling. And if you don't learn to release it, your own morality will exhaust you. If people have ever told you, you're too picky, you're too sensitive, comment 1. I want to see how many of you are living with a mind that refuses to sleep. Sign number 9, you have a weird relationship with boredom. You don't just get bored, you feel it like an itch inside your bones. When there's nothing meaningful to think about, your brain creates drama just to have fuel. People assume you're anxious. But often you're just understimulated, your brain needs the right difficulty level. Sign number 10, your emotions are deep and wide. You don't just feel sad, you drop. You don't just feel happy, you explode. One sentence can save you. One sentence can crush you. Because others don't live at that emotional range, they say you're overreacting. You're not. You're just feeling for real. Sign number 11, you don't trust praise. You're scared someone will discover you're not enough. You see how massive the unknown is, so the feeling of I've arrived rarely shows up. That's the impostor phenomenon. I call it, your brain is so honest it won't let you sleep on compliments. Sign number 12, you isolate to recover. After social time, you need silence like oxygen. Not because you hate people. Because you receive too many signals. You have to shut the system down to survive. Sign number 13, you assume you're wrong even when you're right. Because you can see multiple angles. You understand how other people think. You argue against yourself before anyone else does. You think that's weakness. It's not. It's multidimensional awareness, only you're using it to break yourself. Sign number 14, you crave meaning. You can't live a life that's just eat, work, sleep. You need something that feels worth living for. When you can't find it, you feel empty. People say, grow up. Be realistic. You're not unrealistic. You just refuse to die slowly. Sign number 15, you see other people's potential more clearly than they do. You advise them. Push them. Try to help them grow. Then you get disappointed because not everyone wants to rise. Many people just want comfort. That hurts because you assume everyone has fire like you. They don't. Now listen carefully, giftedness isn't a trophy. It's a brain operating system, more intense, deeper, allergic to shallow living. And because living like this is heavy, lonely, and rarely taught, many gifted people spend their whole lives thinking they're broken. If you see yourself in these signs, the first thing you need isn't more information. You need to stop treating yourself like an enemy. Different doesn't mean damaged. Your job is to understand your brain and use it before it turns on you. Start with 3 things. Name your experience. When you name it, you fear it less. You stop thinking you're random chaos. Choose the right environment. Stop trying to bloom in dead soil and blaming yourself for not blooming. You need people you can talk to, work with real challenge, goals with meaning. Living in the wrong environment and demanding peace is self-deception. Build gentle discipline. Not turning yourself into a machine, but stabilizing your nervous system, sleep, movement, boundaries with social media, and the ability to stop thinking when it's time. If you want part 2, how gifted people can live with less exhaustion, less loneliness, and turn this into strength for money, career, creativity, subscribe and hit the bell. And comment part 2 so I know you're serious, not just watching for entertainment and then crying about life. Let me paint a scene you know too well. You're in a meeting. Everyone's throwing out it's fine, let's just do it, follow the process. But you see 3 holes, risks, bottlenecks, and a faster path. You want to speak up, but you swallow it because you don't want to look extra. So you stay quiet. Then the project collapses exactly the way you predicted. And you don't feel proud, you feel tired, because you saw it coming and didn't stop it. Gifted people fall into this trap, either stay silent to fit in, or speak up and get labeled difficult. The escape is dosage. Don't dump your whole analysis on people. Deliver a clean conclusion. 3 risks. Here's solution A to remove risk number 1. Short, sharp, actionable. You don't need to prove you're smart. You need to make results happen. Same with relationships. You think deep, so you expect the other person to just understand. Sorry, life doesn't run on telepathy. You must communicate needs like an adult, not like a sulking child. I need a quiet night to recover. It's not that I'm bored of you. Clarity prevents damage. Gifted people who don't communicate isolate themselves, then become victims in their own story. And here's another brutal truth: many gifted people fear starting because they fear looking bad. You need to accept this: being bad is the tuition fee of getting good. If you keep polishing forever, never publishing, never speaking, never selling, then you're feeding your ego, not your future. Your brain is strong, but results only come when you put your work into the light. If you do content, here's survival law: don't chase perfect, chase perfect for the viewer. And I'll say it straight: don't turn giftedness into an excuse to procrastinate. Some gifted people are just scared, great at imagining, terrible at acting. Some are soft, addicted to saying, "No one understands me." Life has no obligation to understand you. Your obligation is to understand yourself, use yourself, and create value. You don't need saving. You need to stand up and work. Start small. Stay consistent. Do it until your difference stops being a burden and becomes your weapon. Follow/subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series.